A nice, peaceful weekend on the water at Pickwick Lake. Not. The Powerboat Super League came to race on July 17th and 18th, and people on and off the water watched the Formula 2 and 3 tunnel boats stir up the lake.
We'll run about 121 if we're just out there playing. On a course like this, you'll probably see speeds of 108, 109, something like that. And they can turn. They can do a 180-degree turn wide open. All they do is tuck the motor in and turn the wheel as hard as you can and hang on, because it'll pull you right through. It's like riding a roller coaster, but 3 times as fast.
Formula 2 boats run with 120 horsepower Mercury outboards. Formula 3 are smaller boats with 60 horsepower inline 6 motors, and all of the motor power is stock, or just as it comes from the factory.
I try to stay outside a little bit. Some guys are real fast, and I can't. The boat I've got now, I can't run with the wake. If they make a big wake, and I do, so I try to run outside and then jump into the buoys and go through them a little bit tighter than what they can. And we'll come back to the next buoy and try to do the same thing again.
We're just changing propellers, changing setup, and time in the lap, see where we stand.
Why do you need to change the propellers? Is it based on conditions?
Conditions, courses, and all that. It has a lot to play with it. The water conditions, atmosphere, and course, yeah.
And how do you determine those things?
We have parameters in the boat that gives us readings on the engine, and we have tachometers that we're just watching, and we have different props that accelerate. Some have more mid-range, some have more top end. We can tell all that by time in the laps.
This weekend was the first professional boat racing on Pickwick Lake in about 40 years. These boats are named for their unique design, which creates a tunnel of air down the middle of the craft.
It's basically 2 running surfaces connected by a wing, basically. So it's sort of a ground effects vehicle because we're trapping air underneath the boat to pressurize it. And it never completely leaves out of the water, at least not for a very long time. But you pressurize the bottom side of the boat just enough to reduce the weight of the surface.
Just sitting in the water, these boats seem rather small and accessible, but they do pack a punch.
No, I think if somebody just got in a boat and took off, he would probably go 50 yards and loop it over backwards, just from too much air into the boat. It takes a lot of time to get the feel of a boat, to feel how far off the water you are and just get that perfect trim. And it just takes some years of practice to get that feel, and most of us started in the smaller boats and worked our way up.
I've been doing it now for 5 years, and just something that we all want to do. My brothers, my pit crew, they just keep pushing into it, and it's just something to do. We have a good time with it.
And like other motorsports, the art of adjustment by feel, sound, vibration, and eye is slowly making room for the computer.
It's a data acquisition system. It records lap time, miles per hour, engine RPM, engine temperature, just a lot of things like that. And it's not real time. I mean, we can't read the results back in the truck while I'm running, but we come in and download it on a laptop, and then you can study the results from there.
And what do you learn from those results?
We're new to the system. We're not learning a whole lot yet. We're basically learning how to use the system, but you can actually check several different setups against each other and see which one was quickest around a race course, or which one was turning more RPM, which one was fast on which part of the track.
Wow, computers have come to boat racing.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I mean, I'm an old seat of the pants racer, but we're trying to make the best of this new situation.
And so powerboat racing returned to Pickwick Lake. Organizers and fans hope it's back for good.